Imagine waking up tomorrow to find your bank account frozen, your social media deleted, and a fake video of you saying things you never said going viral. All perfectly legal under current law. This isn't science fiction. This is the digital world we're living in right now. Hi, I'm Professor Mark Grabowski, and this short video will cover 5 major issues where technology is outpacing our laws, from AI making decisions about your future, to deepfakes destroying reputations, to the legal gray area of making money online from sites like OnlyFans. These aren't distant problems. They're affecting Generation Z members like you right now. Here's an uncomfortable truth. The laws governing our digital lives were written when most Americans had never heard of email. Our main privacy laws dates back to 1986, before smartphones, social media, or cloud computing even existed. We're trying to navigate a high-tech world with horse and buggy laws. Probably the biggest issue involves artificial intelligence. Right now, AI systems are making decisions about your future, whether you get that job, that loan, that apartment, often without you even knowing. For example, a tutoring company's AI recently rejected all applicants over age 55. The company got sued and paid a big settlement, but how many similar cases never see the light of day? But it's not just hiring bias. As students and future media professionals, you're facing questions your professors never had to consider before. Is it academic dishonesty to use AI for assignments and exams? Different schools have wildly different policies. Meanwhile, AI can confidently present false information as fact. A New York lawyer used ChatGPT to help write a legal brief, but the AI invented fake court cases. The result? A $5,000 fine and job loss. The media industry is grappling with similar challenges. Sports Illustrated faced massive backlash for publishing AI-generated articles with fake author names and photos. While not illegal, it destroyed their credibility. Then there's the copyright minefield. AI systems are trained on vast amounts of copyrighted material without permission. Getty Images, major book publishers, and music labels are suing AI companies, while some organizations like the New York Times have reached licensing deals. Perhaps most concerning, are we making ourselves dumber? When AI can write your essays, solve your math problems, and answer your exam questions, what happens to critical thinking? Will AI steal our jobs? And will AI chatbots steal our romantic companions? We're trusting systems that can lie with perfect confidence, while potentially losing the skills we need to spot those lies. Another potential common misuse of AI is what's known as deepfakes, which are hyper-realistic but entirely fabricated videos, images, or audio clips created using artificial intelligence. Last year, AI-generated pornographic images of Taylor Swift went viral, viewed by millions before being taken down. This wasn't an isolated incident. 96% of deepfake videos online target women with non-consensual pornography. The technology that can put anyone's face on anyone's body is now accessible to anyone with a smartphone. Congress finally passed the Take It Down Act in 2025, requiring platforms to remove such content within 48 hours. But here's the important distinction. This law specifically targets non-consensual intimate imagery. So if someone creates a deepfake of you in a sexual context, that would be covered. But if someone creates a deepfake of you just saying something, like the fake video of Ukrainian President Zelensky surrendering to Russia, that's not covered by this law and would still be legal in most cases. And here's the catch. By the time fake content is removed, it's often already screenshot, shared, and spread beyond control. The damage is done. Another damaging trend is what's known as doxing. Picture this. You post an unpopular opinion on social media. Within hours, strangers are sharing your full name, address, workplace, and family photos online. Your boss gets calls demanding you be fired. This is doxing, and it's completely legal as long as the information comes from public sources. Look at the range of people being targeted. ICE agents involved in raids had their personal information posted by activists, and their families received threats. Pro-Palestine protesters found their names displayed on websites and billboards, with college students losing internships and job offers. Even people in online forums like Are We Dating the Same Guy are sharing information about potential romantic partners. Sometimes people are being doxxed over trivial matters, like when a music critic faced harassment simply for giving a negative review of Taylor Swift's latest album. And sometimes the wrong person gets doxxed and gets harassed for something they didn't even do. We've created a world where anyone can become a target. Government employees, political activists, college students, even music critics. Digital mobs can deliver swift punishment without trial or appeal. Is this the kind of accountability we want, or have we gone too far? Another concerning trend is that financial companies are now punishing speech they don't like. Believe it or not, banks and payment platforms like PayPal have the power to cut you off not just for breaking laws, but for saying things they don't like. We saw this during Canada's Freedom Convoy protests, when the government froze protesters' bank accounts without court orders. These actions were later ruled unconstitutional by a Canadian court, but only after lives were disrupted. No one is immune. Even Kanye West had his accounts with JP Morgan Chase closed after making anti-Semitic remarks. Some argue that people like West deserve to lose financial services for making harmful statements. But critics warn this creates a slippery slope. If companies can cut off people for speech they find offensive today, what stops them from targeting different viewpoints tomorrow? In our digital age, losing access to payment apps and bank accounts can be as devastating as losing your home. Should companies have this much power over our financial lives? Speaking of financial risks online, many people are turning to platforms like OnlyFans and sugar dating sites to make money as side hustles. But this is actually a gray area of law that could put them at risk. Even sexually related content involving consenting adults can run afoul of the law, especially when it comes to sex work and the platforms that host it. In 2018, Congress passed laws called FOSTA and SESTA to combat online sex trafficking. While the goal was noble, critics argue these efforts have overreached, penalizing legal adult content and endangering the very people the laws were meant to protect. These laws make platforms legally responsible for content related to prostitution, even when it involves consenting adults. The impact was immediate. Craigslist shut down its personal section, and even platforms like OnlyFans briefly announced a ban on sexually explicit material due to pressure from banks and payment processors, though they reversed the decision later. Meanwhile, sugar dating sites like Seeking.com operate in legal gray areas, connecting adults in relationships that may involve money and intimacy. They walk a fine line, facilitating connections between sugar daddies or sugar mommies and younger people seeking financial support, but not explicitly arranging prostitution. The ambiguity leaves both platforms and users uncertain about legal boundaries. It's worth noting that some countries ban these platforms entirely, and attitudes towards sex-related work can vary widely across different communities and cultures. The broader issue here illustrates how well-intentioned laws targeting genuinely harmful activity can inadvertently sweep in legal conduct. The broad language has created a climate where platforms err on the side of caution, removing any content that might be construed as sexual commerce, regardless of whether it involves consenting adults or actual harm. Now, all of these issues reflect a deeper problem. The real issue isn't just outdated laws, it's that our democratic institutions can't keep up the pace of technological change. By the time Congress understands a technology well enough to regulate it, that technology has often evolved into something entirely different. Justice Elena Kagan once revealed that some Supreme Court justices don't even use email, yet they're making crucial decisions about our digital rights. How can we expect thoughtful regulation from people who don't understand the technology they're regulating? So what does this mean for you? As college students who spend considerable time in this new digital world, you need to understand that, first, your online actions have real-world consequences that existing laws may not protect you from. Second, the platforms you use daily operate under a patchwork of inconsistent rules. And third, the AI systems making decisions about your life operate largely without oversight. We're living through a fundamental shift in how society works, but we're doing it with outdated rules and institutions that weren't designed for this moment. The question isn't whether technology will continue advancing. It will. The question is whether we'll update our legal frameworks and democratic institutions fast enough to keep up. This isn't just about technology policy. It's about what kind of society we want to live in. Do we want a world where AI systems make life-changing decisions without explanation? Where financial companies can destroy someone's life over political disagreements? Where seeing is no longer believing? The digital Wild West we're living in won't tame itself. It will take engaged citizens who understand both the promise and perils of technology to build the legal frameworks we need. The future of digital rights isn't just in the hands of tech companies and politicians, it's in your hands. The question is, what kind of digital future do you want to build?